winter. But we'll start Alpine, and we'll grab a word with Jack Doohan. Jack, it's been a tough weekend for Alpine. I mean, you've been sitting in the briefings. What's the aim for the team today?
I think just make the most of what we can. You know, it's not ideal. You know, the package wasn't terrible yesterday. Just unfortunately didn't come together and just wasn't on track at the right time yesterday in Q1. So I think, you know, we want to, you know, make the most of this race, understand where we're at, so we can maximize Spa, which is the main objective, so that we head into the summer break on good terms.
And you've been doing a little bit of testing behind the scenes. How's that been going for you?
Yeah, good. You know, working on myself, but also on the future of Alpine and making sure that where we're heading is in the right direction.
And do you know, when are you going to know if you've got a seat on the grid next year? Can you give us an insight?
I'll probably look at Twitter and see what the media is saying. To be honest, they seem to know more than me.
Great, thank you, Jack. We tried to get an answer there, it wasn't possible. So Guan Yu Zhou here, another tough weekend for them. They'll be looking forward to move slightly further out. He doesn't have Pierre Gasly behind him, so he won't necessarily have to be looking too much in his mirrors as he moves further out. Now, George Russell, huge disappointment for him. He'll be a driver that's really trying to move his way forward, but I've just noticed here the rear wheel is off either side of Perez's car. That's usually standard, but the team are having a little look at the rear of his car. So Perez has not taken a new chassis. Lots of old bits and bobs been sort of scrambled to put on his car. So looks like maybe just final checks here from Perez. Nothing too serious. All the mechanics seem pretty chill, pretty calm, so nothing too serious. Engines are starting to get fired up. Now, where do the drivers go is usually the question I get asked. It's so hot out here on the grid. So they've all sort of scarpered to get inside, get some fluids on board, maybe have a last final pit stop. Bruno there giving us a little wave. And it's hard. It's one of these times where you just want to get going as a driver. It's a long build-up. It's a lot longer than it used to be. So they'll be making sure they'll be keeping nice and cool. Bottas here, you can see lined up. I think this is going to be a spicy, hot area of the grid. We've got some drivers that are desperate to really move forward, make some points, and try and do well for their team. Hulkenberg, he was 14th last year, so he'll be looking to try and make an improvement on that. And then another car here that's had a big repair. It's Yuki Tsunoda. That's the team doing a great job. You can see they've got the cooling there. Temperature, it keeps going up and down, but in particular when the sun's out. So dry ice, they use a lot of dry ice to fire in. You can see it'll just be in these boxes there. There'll be a pump that will pump through the dry ice and blow the cold air through, and you can see it. You can even see some ice forming on the top of the outlets there at the very top. So moving swiftly on further up the grid. There's nowhere in particular we can sort of talk to. They're all hiding out of the sun. Aston Martin, a few more adjustments to taping up. You can see they're just putting on some clear tape on the bodywork. And you're thinking, well, this is screwed in. Why are they putting tape on it? That is just for aero, basically. Any little lump, any little bump, or if it happens to come slightly loose, that will affect the drag of the car. So that is the reason why they have they're taping up. Ferrari here firing up, doing a few checks. There's a mechanic sat in the car. That's not Charles Leclerc sitting in the car here. They're obviously just running through. I'm not sure if there's any issues there. Running through, going through the gears, having their final checks. Let's see if anyone at Mercedes, particularly, so I'm trying to look for Toto Wolff. Can't quite see him. Charles Leclerc, he's actually had a tough last few races. He's only scored 12 points in the last 4 races. He's lining up behind Carlos Sainz, so he'll be trying to make the jump forward on his teammate. He knows it's important to get those constructors. In particular, Carlos must be feeling fairly happy. He's the driver that's obviously leaving at the end of the year, so he'll feel pretty pleased that he's sort of in front of his teammate. Now, having a little look at Max Verstappen, I wonder if Christian Horner is about anywhere. Can't see him about. I'd like to grab a word with him, but we can't see him at the moment. They're all hiding from us today. Let's see if we can grab a word with Jonathan Wheatley here. I'll hang around, see if he may want to have a chat with us. A lot has gone in to making. Jonathan, can I have a quick word? How are you? The team have done a great job in repairing Perez's car. A lot of work has gone on overnight, clearly.
Yeah, I mean, it's been an outstanding effort, not just by that car crew, but everyone in the garage had something to do with that repair. And actually, if you look at the car, you can't even see the damage. They did a brilliant paint job. In fact, I've said they can come and sort my car out at home.
No, and they can come and sort mine out as well. Max Verstappen was wheeled into the garage there just before coming to the grid. Is everything okay on his car? No issues?
Yeah, there's a procedure. If you want to change a front flap angle, you have to bring it in the garage. So it was all straightforward.
Great, brilliant. Thank you, good luck. So you can see just a flap angle change. That means they would have made a small adjustment to the front wing. Max clearly feeling when he was out on the lap to the grid. They are pushing quite hard on the laps to the grid. They usually drive straight through the pit lane. They'll go out, they'll do a practice start, but you can just see on the either side of the front wing there's a little sort of adjustment that they can make, whether they want to add front wing for a bit more grip on the front or reduce. So he clearly felt that he might have needed a little bit more front end. And we're going to head now to pretty much near the front of the grid. And this, I mean, what sight? I love seeing two McLarens at the front of the grids. There, you can see they've got the umbrellas on just to keep that cockpit really cool. It can reach in hot races temperatures of up to 50 degrees plus in the cockpit. And bear in mind, you're sat there as a driver with your helmet on, your balaclava, your fireproof underwear. It gets so warm. You even see, in particular, in Qatar, some of the drivers opening their visor just to get some hot air in. I doubt it's going to be like that today because it's not quite Qatar temperatures, but certainly it's going to be a real warm one for the drivers. And when that sun comes out, it is absolutely boiling. So they'll have water on board, of course, but it gets quite warm when you're driving. It sits just behind the driver's seat, so you can imagine it's in between the engine and where the driver's sitting. So it gets particularly warm. But that's it for the grid walk. It's now time for the national anthem.